All right, guys. Special treat. Joel and I have been buddies for a very long time, and he's going to explain to you the things we went through in the early days. He and I had the chance to experience massive growth, but nothing like we're experiencing now, and the transition we're making on a global scale, but with a new product line and everything we got going on, and why it works global. Right now, I read it's the fastest growing direct sales company in the world. And also, I read that we have more millionaires in Networks Global than any other company in the world. And we're breaking what, Joel, about every 36 months to 42 months, we're breaking brand new seven-figure earners. We're the company to be with, and it's not because Joel and I are going to sit here and brag about what we've done. We just got a lot of years in. I'm going into my finishing up my 17th year, going into my 18th year full time is all I do for a living. Joel, come on and just give it to him the Mr. Dunn way, the Black Diamond Joel Dunn, the number one money earner in the entire company for years running. Joel, I'm so privileged to have you on here with me. Let's let the people have it and let them know exactly why they are at the right place at the right time, and they will finish this month. If they knew what you and I knew was going to happen by the end of next month, you would work night and day around the clock because this is going to set the tone for your family. So this is where you create the legendary legacies for the future generations of your family. Go ahead, Joel.
That's right. Rusty, thank you guys for having me on. I did want to start out with this. My shirt, 9 to 5 is for the week. So, for all of you that are on right now, currently I'm in Eastern time zone, so it's 9. So we're way past that 5 o'clock time. So if you're on here right now, you are not weak. You are strong. Get that in your mind and understand that you're in the right place at the right time. And here's one of the reasons why, like Rusty said, we've been in this for a long time. Rusty's my senior. He pioneered and took arrows long before I got it. And then we are getting ready to celebrate our 10th anniversary in 2 days now. And what we can tell you is that we've gotten everything from the past 10 years up to this point so fine-tuned that all you have to do is plug in and take off. Some of the exciting things that I know Rusty knows and I know, and maybe some of you have heard, but we've got this little thing happening on Monday called Opening Mexico. Every time you're on the front end of opening country, it is an incredible opportunity to have explosive growth. Now, if you're sitting there right now going, I don't know anybody in Mexico, that's okay. You may know somebody in your neighborhood or in your city that's related to people in Mexico. Same thing with the Philippines. We just opened in the Philippines. We just opened in Korea. We just opened in Japan. That doesn't mean that you have to know somebody there, but you know somebody at your church, you know somebody at your job, maybe ask them. That's why it's so exciting right now. And the other great thing is I know when Rusty came on, there was one product. Have you guys noticed we have an immense product line and it's growing and changing all the time? I think that's one of the things that I'm most excited about is that we're one of those companies that just doesn't sit on our laurels and wait for things to kind of pass us by. Mark is always on the cutting edge, always looking for new. So when you're looking for a company that has something that somebody else doesn't, guess what? We're going to be one of the first ones to pick it up and run with it. The great thing that I know, and it was in one of the VIP pages today, Kyler Pentecost, Mark's son, kind of gave us a little hint that between now and the end of July, we're going to have more products coming out. I mean, just think about this. They said that from now until the end of the year, we should be having one product a month coming out. He said, but from now until the end of July, we may have 4 new products. You know what you could do with 4 new products? You could start a whole new company. Most companies don't even have 4 products, and we're coming out with 4 new ones. And then we've got the rest of the year. So for those of you that are on here right now, you have an immense opportunity to lay a foundation, not only for the end of this month, for the rest of the year. I just did a post earlier today talking about how Stephanie and I, we were stuck at Double Diamond for a whole year. And that was because a lot of what we were doing was we were self-focused. We were building stuff for us. We were trying to figure everything out as we go. And then we went to an event and saw people there with teammates. And it clicked in our mind that the next event that we went to, we wanted to make sure we had people there. Going to Ambassador, you can't do that with one person. you have to bring people with you. So you need to get excited about creating your team, creating your circle of people that you're going to bring with you. And the easiest way to do that is basically share all the exciting things that happen, because guess what? Nobody wants to come along for a boring ride. I mean, most people do that any day. Create excitement. When you're doing posts, when you're speaking, speak life, speak amazingness, speak abundance. Those are the kind of things that you want to do. And then go out, like Rusty said, and start taking action. I'm super excited because I know that, Monday, we don't even know what to expect because of the fact that I know we've been building this ramp up to opening Mexico for the last 2 years. I mean, we've had the Latino launch going for almost 1.5 years, and there's people just chomping at the bit. So, make sure that you're going out and finding people and chatting with them and letting them know, guess what? We're getting ready to go on a run of all runs. We've gone through a wave of momentum. So we know what that means. When you are in momentum, there's not anything really you can say wrong because you're better than you are. Everything's cooler than it is. And all you have to do is push a snowball downhill. So you just have to get good at pushing. Snowball doesn't start on its own, but once you get it going, that momentum takes over and you can ride that wave. I've had a good analogy for riding a wave. When you're sitting out and you're watching people surfing, you notice there's 2 different types of people. There's the people that are the non-professionals, and then there's the professionals. The professionals, you'll see that they'll take their time and they'll watch the water and they'll look for the wave. The non-professionals, the tourists, they take everything that's coming at them. They get up, they fall over, they get up, they fall over. What you should do as a tourist is pay attention to what the professionals do, because the professionals are paddling out further and further. It looks like a lot more work. It looks like they're doing twice as much work and they could just take the easy one in, but they're going out where the big waves happen. And once they get that big wave, they ride it all the way in. So take a look at the professionals around you that have been doing this for a while and start copying what they're doing, because they're creating a big wave that you can catch and take that and ride it all the way into your promotion at the end of this month.
Joel, it's so simple. The system is much simpler than when I started, especially when you started. It's down to the 3 people will take you to the top. That has funneled your focus into where it needs to be instead of spreading it out. The beautiful part about this compensation plan is in the depth. It's where you develop the people, you develop the leadership, and you consistently go out. But right now we're changing the course of history in direct sales. I know you've heard that before, but this is not like Joel. Together we have probably 30 plus years of combined experience, highly successful. I've been running an 8-figure business for 16 years. And that's crazy. And Joel is need to tell him where he's at. But bottom line is we stood the course because we knew this day was coming. We knew this was going to set a lot of people free. It's going to change the course of history if you really want it for your life. And Joel, all centered around the 3 steps to success. How simplistic to go out and make this thing happen. And the qualifications is so drastically changed from you and I was out there killing it. And now if we were to have this to start with, we'd probably earned $1 billion. But bottom line is, if you're listening to what's going on now, if you're not muted, please mute yourself. If you're listening to what's going on now, hold on 1 second, Joel. I apologize, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
Maybe they just muted herself.
That's what happens when you get a lot of excited people on. Yeah.
So what he's talking about, this excitement for going into my 18th year, I've been just as excited every single day, even through all the 3 or 4 times that we've hit these walls or growing pains, even through the health challenges. I stayed excited because I knew we looked at the finished product. We looked at the future, where we're going. And Mark, and I'm here to tell you, is the guy's been here longer than everybody. I don't care what Mr. Mark Pentecost says. I trust him. I trust him with the future for my family. He's not let me down up to now. And the transition we're making with this new product line, with the new technology, we're setting the pace, and we've got everybody's attention now. So, Joel, why is it so virtually important from now to the end of this month? Fight this like you've never had. Go after that promotion. Stretch yourself. Stretch your dreams, but stretch yourself and taking the necessary actions to get there. Stop allowing, like he said, the 9 to 5. Stop allowing those particular circumstances to dictate your future. Stop making excuses for why you are where you are, and stretch yourself to the next level. And I'm telling you what, when you do that, you'll start to grow into every single day. Joel, why is it so important to get the 3 steps of success completed minimum once a month, preferably every week?
Well, it's great. And the reason why I love this business specifically so much is It Works created a system. Now, I love systems because there's great systems out there. Look at the McDonald's franchise. Look at Chick-fil-A. They are systems oriented and they just take off and go. So I've always been interested in systems because of the fact that, guess what? You don't have to be the magic. You just have to create it. So you just have to start with it. So the great thing about this is we've got 3 simple steps. And what I found, and you'll read books on success, like if you read like The Millionaire Mindset or some other success-oriented books, they say that majority of millionaires find out that there's a half dozen things that have to be done in their business in order to create success. And then once they find out what that half dozen thing is, they just do them over and over and over again, almost robotically. So when you hear us talk about steps to success, you're like, oh gosh, I got to hear about steps to success again. Well, guess what? That's because it made us rich. We didn't have to change anything. We didn't have to create something new. The steps to success are already there. So just use those and do them over and over and over again. And when you get bored with them, guess what? Do them more. See, the great thing about the steps to success is, you're helping somebody join, you're getting your customers, and then you're going out and duplicating that within your organization. Guess what? If you do that once, you can do it again. And the faster you do it, the quicker you'll get to success. The thing that I've seen with this is that most people join this business with an employee mindset. And what you have to do is you have to change from an employee into an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur doesn't wait for somebody to tell them to do something. They wake up and slay the day. Employee mindset says, hey, guess what? I have to wait for somebody to tell me I really don't want to go into work. I want to live that 9 to 5. Clock out, and then when I get back in at 9, then I'm on again. The entrepreneur mindset goes, guess what? I will work 80 hours a day to not work 40 hours a week for somebody else. Get that mindset in that you are going to do it until you get it. And that's what's so amazing about this system is once you get into a rhythm of contacting people, asking them about products, and then getting people to join your team, it's very simple. We say, get 4 customers and then go out and help 3 people join your team, and then repeat, and then teach them to do the same thing and repeat. That's all you have to do. If you're doing something different than that, stop, because you're doing too much unnecessary busy work. The work is, if it's signing a customer and it's signing a distributor, that's the work. That's the greatest thing that I love about what we have here, Rusty, is we've got something that is a results-driven business. So if you're not getting the results that you want, do more. If you're doing more and you're not getting the results that you want, sit down with the person that you're working with and say, hey, I'm doing all of this, but it's not producing the results that I want. And guess what? They can probably simply walk you through a couple tweaks that can help you get to where you're going. And that's what I love, is that you're in a business for yourself, but not by yourself. Somebody got you into this business because, one, they saw something in you. Rusty saw something in you. Your upline saw something in you. You have somebody that's rooting for you. And guess what? This is one of those great, weird businesses where I don't make money unless you make money. It's not like your job where you're never going to be able to make what your boss makes. Here, you can outmake anybody if you put in the work and you do it over and over and over again. And that's what you really have your hands on. And so why is it important to do it now? Because if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? Plain and simple.
The system is so crazy simple. I think people have the lack of ability to dream because of those learned behaviors they've had from childhood up. and you don't know what you know till you don't know it. And Joel and I have had the opportunity to travel all over the world together. We've actually went in and won golf tournaments together over in Florida, and we were the shocking couple or foursome in the golf tournaments. But we've had so much fun. But 90 days after I got into it works when we really hit the first milestone, and we weren't sure we were going to make it. Mark had to flip a house in order just to even pay us our commissions and that type of thing. That's when I really fell in love with the concept, and I really began to trust him. He put his family's life on the way of their way of life on the line, so my family we could get paid after we left corporate America. And the bottom line is, I said, Mark, I'll die with you, and that's why I've been here so long. But the trust in him and where he's going, he's a visionary like I've never met before. And the beautiful thing about this, Joel, is where we're going is so much more important than where we are. And we got to have that person that it has the ability to get past the 9 and 5. And it's our job to grow you into every single day. And it's our job to lead the way. And so what I understand in my self-development this week is followers that follow followers. You're always looking for the exit sign. You're looking for the way out. And right here, leadership is going to lead you to where we're going, because as Joel said, none of us get paid until you do. So therefore, we have a vested interest in you becoming successful, but you have to follow the steps to success. And therefore, if you want to get your upline and your leader's attention because you want to be a leader, you'll be consistently doing the steps to success, but you'll have a goal. And it's crazy. You can have a goal, but until you take the action, it's just a goal. It don't mean anything until you take those necessary actions. So Joel, let's just be raw and real with everybody. The kind of work we really put in. I get up at 4 o'clock every day, 7 days a week. I go to bed around 11. That's all the sleep that I personally need. I've been doing that for a long time. And because I'm so excited, I've not woke up on an alarm clock and going on 18 years, but I'm so excited to meet my day. I think sleep is overrated. And therefore, that's for people that have the 9 to 5s, that have that particular learned behavior. I call it the broke mentality, that follows that follow followers. Why is it so virtually important to self-develop and start your day with that particular mindset so you can go out and, like you say, slay the day?
Yeah, and that's exactly it, is because you're only going to get as far as the information in your head can get you. That is why you have to start a personal development track record. If you look at successful people, on average, they spend anywhere from 10 to 45 minutes first thing in the morning on personal development. And then throughout the day, they're also doing things to help develop themselves, whether it's having a conversation. When we're talking about personal development, take a look at what you need to develop proper mindset, because mindset is the hardest part to get through. I would say get John Maxwell's No Limits book. It's lifting the cap off your capacity. I say this all the time. I'm only as far as I am right now because of the information that I've gotten up until this point. Most people go through their life and get out of school, and once they get out of school, they're like, great, I'm done learning. Guess what? If you're done learning, you're done growing, and when you're done growing, you're done reaching for success. So make sure that you are taking time for personal development so that you can expand your mind, because once your mind expands, it can never go back. And the great thing is, and I've said this a couple times from stage, I want every single one of you to be millionaires. But I don't want you to be a millionaire for the fact that you're going to have $1 million. I know you're going to do good with $1 million when you have it, because you're all great people. But what I want for you most is that you become the person that deserves $1 million. Because when that happens, nobody can take that away from you. They can take the money. You can go through tragedy, but the person that you've developed into to get that $1 million, nobody can take that away. And Rusty, it was kind of funny because I have this quote that I was going to post tomorrow, so I'll just share it with you guys right now. It says, it's not pointing to the goal and saying, that is where I'm going, that creates success. It's the actions you do every day to take you there. It doesn't matter what you say about getting to your goals. It only matters what you do.
I'm going to piggyback off of that, something that I've noticed for 18 years with Mark. And for what Joel just said, to put it in a very simple terms, is it works. We are where we are today because we will fight like hell to go. We don't believe in losing. All we believe is showing up every single day and going through that day, but fighting. And the fight we've led for all these years is not just for us, it's for you guys. Not only for our families, but for your families. But here's what defines It Works Global. I've been here a long time. It's not the words in which we say, it's the actions in which we take. Those particular actions, they speak loud enough for us, for Mr. Pentecost, as he led this group of leaders all these years. We just learned to take massive action and come after it. And we all go through particular adversities in life, and you can allow one or two things to happen. You can let adversity slow you down because it's a roadblock, or you can use that as a stepping stone to grow and learn through it. But taking that action, and my father told me years ago, was my first big mentor in life. He said, son, honor your word if you give it to somebody. He said, because all you got is your word. He said, if it costs you a lot right now to honor your word, it will pay massive dividends later. And I'm living in the dividends later by honoring the words and making the commitment to not only to Mark Pentecost, but to my family, to my children. Been a full-time daddy and a husband for going on 18 consecutive years, no alarm clocks, but it's a necessary actions that we took, even through my health challenges. It was the actions we get up every single day and take. Because here's the 4 principles I live by. God is always first. A little rawer than most, but God is always first in my life. My family is always second. My fitness is always third, and money is always last. Because here's what I already know from corporate banking. If you put the money first, because Rob and I were very poor. I mean, way below poverty back in the early days. And I kept telling her, one day I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. I'm going to take you places you've never been. She said, well, we have not eaten 3 days. But I had that particular dream. So when I got my break in banking, I worked really hard for money. And then 2 years into It Works, I spent every dollar I had trying to get my health back. So if you work for money and that's your focus, you'll spend all the money you ever make to get your health back and to get your family back. I've already done that once. But if you put this in a particular order, see, laws are put into place to guarantee our success, like the steps to success. You will never defy the law, but you can defy yourself against it, because every law has a principle built into it that governs the law. You think you're breaking it, but you're breaking you, and all of a sudden the principle kicks in. So therefore, I try to live a principled life. As I say, early in the morning, I actually pray with the Pentecost family every day, 7 days a week, early in the morning. That is a principle. I got to put him first, because we pray over all of y'all, the entire company, the industry. My wife and kids have to come second. Non-negotiable. Fitness is going to be third. Y'all see me every day on the lives. I'm on my way from the gym or to the gym every day, 7 days a week. Non-negotiable. And then when you do that, when the law of reciprocity kicks in, you'll have an abundant supply of this other stuff. As long as you don't focus on it, you focus on doing what Joel said, getting to work in your organization as the people to make a difference in their lives. And therefore, when those particular principles of the laws kicks in, there's absolutely no way you can be healthy and successful. And this is what I'm going to say, Joel, and you can finish this up. Nobody in America with this line of products that we have, and we're growing like crazy because of the hottest products being the keto line and the ThermoFight X and those products that are making a big difference. Nobody in this organization or throughout It Works Global, or nobody within your sphere of influence should be sick, poor, or broke. Do you agree, Mr. Dunn?
Absolutely. I love that. You can't be sick, broke, or poor. It's just not going to happen. So make sure that you're taking this and inviting somebody else in along for the ride. I mean, that's truly what it comes down to, is you have to have a heart for other people, because that's how you're going to change people's lives, is through this business. And if you think things are awesome now, you haven't seen anything yet. I mean, the next half of this year is going to be mind-blowing. And it's one of those things that's just really, really hard. Like, if we could just take the screen and just like shake you through it. I know Rusty and I have been doing these calls for years, and that's what we always say. If we could just shake you and make you understand, because once you understand, you would put in the work to change your lives. Because guess what? We can't do it for you. We can bring you the opportunity. We can speak life into you. We can speak like life over you. We can model the way of what you need to do, but only you are the one that can do it and change your life. You know, people ask me all the time, Joel, how do you stay motivated? And guess what? Today, motivation stops for every single one of you. Today, discipline begins, because that is what successful people do. Successful people discipline themselves to do the things that need to be done when the excitement and the motivation ends. So with that, be determined to do what you need to do to hit that promotion at the end of this month. And when you do, make sure you tag me in it and say, hey, I hit that promotion. Time to go for the next one.
Absolutely. Joel, man, you're just the greatest. And I've enjoyed all these years, these 10 years of being able to work with you and seeing you and Stephanie grow into the top 0.5% of the money earners in the world, in all of the industry, actually in the world, period. And so it does a heart good to see that leadership after all these years step up, step in. And the one thing you're going to see about our leadership, we all love each other. We got each other's back to whatever happens. If you fight with one of us, you're going to get into it with all of us. And so because we ride for the brand, we planted our flag, we drew a line in the sand, and we ride for the brand because we know the difference it's going to make in your lives as you take ownership of your life and you take the ownership away from corporate America or whatever's holding you back and say, I have had enough. When you draw that line in the sand and you plant your flag and you give yourself a particular time limit to go do it and you take the necessary actions, life as you know it begins to change, but that'll never happen until you make up your mind that you're going to help other people change their lives as well. Joel, in the last remarks, what would you say to go ahead and get people from where they are? We got 10 days left in the month. That's a third of a month. If we can go at it, we're going to slay. I mean, we're already slaying it, but we really want to slay to the next level because I want these people to be playing like you and I played. I want them to be free and live this particular lifestyle.
Guys, it's pretty simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. And it's basically this. Whatever you're doing right now, realize that it's not enough. Always have, whenever we ask Mark and Mark asks me and Mark asks Rusky, what's your number? The answer is always more. And that always seems like a bad answer. But think about that. The moment that you say enough, that's the moment that you should be put in the ground, because nobody changes lives with just enough. You can change more lives with more. So whatever you're doing now, just think, I can do one more. And if you create a life of one more, you will have a life of more than anything anyone around you could have ever imagined for you. And it will unlock things for you and your family and your children and your children's children and your children's children's children. See, a bad man is somebody that leaves nothing to his children. A great man, the Bible says, leaves something to his children's children's children. And I guess we can put that in there for the ladies as well. They didn't use that terminology. They just said that. So I got to bring it to the new Joel Dunn translation. So guys, just go out there, do more, make more, and change more people's lives, and watch what will happen. Your life will change in the process.
Guys, I don't know what else he and I could tell you, especially for the years we put in. We've just been big on taking necessary actions through everything, through every adversity lies a siege of an equal or greater benefit. We've always focused on the benefit because we knew this day was coming. And Joel, and I know I'm beyond excited after all these years. And the one thing that we've been here so long, we never got out of the honeymoon stage. And we got out of the honeymoon, and now from what we learned today, what's going to happen by the end of July, but every month here, we are in a momentum state. And I'm going to tell you what, we're going to start to absorb things like you have never seen because people are looking and now people are coming. And you either want them to come with you or they'll come with Joel and I. Because I can tell you one thing, people are looking. The only thing we're lacking in the world is leadership. And people after leadership, not a couple of weeks, not the followers to the X, the guys that stay the test of time. And there's a lot of people on here like Teresa Garrett, and these guys have stayed the test of time all the years that we've got in, and others. And if I missed your name, I'm sorry, but I just see her picture here, and she's been with us all these years. But I can tell you the test of time, and it is a biblical principle that by you sticking with it and you taking the necessary actions, it's not if it's going to happen, it's just a matter of when it's going to happen as you go to the next level. But now you've been put in this catch-22 position. If you give it all you got, you're going to make more than you've ever seen because you're going to influence and impact more people's lives around this world. And I don't know what would bring you more joy to know that you've made a difference in somebody else's life. Joel, I appreciate you, man, brother, more than you know.
Absolutely.
Here soon. I hear we're going to get to play again this summer somewhere. But, guys, I love you, and that love is unconditional. There's no emotional attachment to unconditional love. All we want to do is put ourselves in the service of you so we can help you live the life that you deserve. Now, you just go out and figure out one thing. What do you believe you and your family deserve? And enough is never enough, because when enough is enough, like Joel said, you're dead. And you cannot help nobody else if you can't help yourself. Guys, I love you. You matter to me. This will be up on the YouTube in the next hour or so. Joel, thank you so much for being on here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
You guys have a wonderful evening.
See you guys.